All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down a really powerful idea from Brian Tracy that could, honestly, totally change your financial future. You know, a lot of people think becoming a millionaire is just some impossible dream, but what if it's way closer than you think?
So Tracy drops this bombshell of an idea. He says it's not about luck, it's not who you were born to, it's not who you know. He argues that there's just one single, learnable skill standing between you and a life of financial freedom. That's a pretty bold claim, right?
And that is literally the million-dollar question. To figure out the answer, we've actually got to go back, way back, to where Brian Tracy's own search for answers started long before anybody knew his name.
So the story starts with a young Brian Tracy. He's working his tail off, but he's feeling totally stuck. And it's during this really frustrating time in his life that he asks a question that would completely change everything for him. I mean, for years, he was doing back-breaking work, out on farms, inside factories, putting bolts on an assembly line, slogging it out on construction sites. He was putting in all the hours, you know? But his bank account, well, it just wasn't adding up. He was completely stuck.
And this is the question that changed everything. It sounds so simple, but when you think about it, it's incredibly profound. Instead of just accepting his lot in life, he got obsessed with finding an answer. And he started by going straight to successful people and just asking them, point blank, what are you doing differently than me? And that search for answers, well, it led him to this incredible discovery, a universal law that really is the foundation for all success. This wasn't just some tip or a neat little trick, this was the whole game.
He basically landed on the law of cause and effect. The idea is simple. Everything happens for a reason. So wealth isn't random. It's a predictable effect. If you put certain causes into motion, certain actions, you will get the result of financial success. It's not magic. It's almost like a science. So here's the crucial part. It's this mental shift right here. You have to stop looking at success like it's a lottery ticket, you know, something that just happens to a lucky few. You have to start seeing it like a recipe. If you get the right ingredients and you follow the steps, you will get the result.
And this just perfectly illustrates his whole philosophy. Success leaves clues. It leaves a trail of breadcrumbs. If you follow in the footsteps of successful people, if you do what they did, eventually you're going to get the same results. The path is already there for you.
But here's where it gets really, really interesting. Tracy realized that the journey to becoming a millionaire isn't just about what you do or what you get. It's all about who you have to become along the way. This is such a powerful thought, isn't it? Tracy figured out that even though money is the goal, it's not the real prize. The real reward is the person you have to become to earn it. It's the transformation you go through on that journey. The real reward, he says, is forging these qualities inside yourself. The discipline, the determination, that sheer strength of character. These are the things that make you a better, more capable person in every part of your life. And that is so much more valuable than any number in a bank account.
But here's the thing. Unfortunately, most people never even start this journey. They get stuck. Tracy says the average person quits a new goal less than one time. Just think about that for a second. They give up before they've even made one single real attempt.
He says they're trapped on what he calls Someday Isle. You know that place, right? It's that fantasy island where we tell ourselves, oh, someday I'll start saving, or someday I'll start that business. But of course, for most people, someday just never comes. Okay, so this is what's really cool. He created a practical, actionable blueprint to actually get off that island for good and start building real wealth. This isn't just fluffy theory, it's a set of concrete principles you can follow. So Tracy basically boiled all of his research down into this 5-part blueprint. First, you have to dream big, get a crystal clear vision. Then, do what you love so you have the passion to keep going. Number 3 is huge. Commit to excellence. Always aim for the top. Fourth, develop your unique talents. What is it that makes you special? And finally, maybe the biggest mindset shift of all, see yourself as self-employed and take total ownership of your career. Okay, let's talk about that commit to excellence thing. Tracy points out that pretty much all the real money, all the real opportunities in any field are in the top 10%. That middle 80%, well, it's crowded and not much happens there. So your goal has to be to break into that top 10%. And here's the really good news. Every single person who's at the top today started out in the bottom 10%.
And that last point, having an owner's mindset, that's the real game changer. See, an employee thinks, it's just a job. But an owner thinks, this is my company, and takes 100% responsibility for everything. That's the mindset that gets you promoted, gets you paid more, and gets you handed the keys to the whole kingdom.
And all of this, the mindset, these principles, this whole journey, it all comes full circle, right back to that powerful, central idea we started this whole thing with. The one thing that might be holding you back.
You are probably just one single skill away from doubling your income. One skill away from unlocking your entire path to financial freedom. It's not this huge mountain of things you have to learn. It's one specific high-impact skill. And you know, here's the most empowering part of this whole idea. Whatever that one skill is, you can learn it. People say stuff like, "Oh, I'm not good with money," or "I just can't sell." Tracy says that's nonsense. Look, if you can learn to drive a car, you can learn any skill you need to be successful. They're all learnable.
So, I'm going to leave you with the same question Tracy asks everyone. Just take a second and look at your life right now. What is that one skill? If you truly mastered it, did it in an excellent fashion, what one skill would have the biggest positive impact on your life and your income? The answer to that question? Well, that's not just an idea. It's your first step off of Someday I'll.